So today I have a bit of a special video for you. I am going to show you a level that I created for TWHL Tower 2 that I ended up not submitting because in many ways it didn't work in the way that I designed it. There were a lot of issues with crashes and I hit the entity limit so many times. And the general premise of it is that it was supposed to be an immersive sim, but in TWHL Tower it was supposed to be like an RPG, and it's kind of a crazy and far out idea. I'll show you why it didn't work. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to see it. So this was made a year ago as of recording this video. So this was, started development in December of 2019, and it ceased development on the 22nd of January 2020, when I abandoned the project. And it was pretty much finished in terms of the logic and whatnot, but it was it wouldn't have worked if I had submitted it in its current state. So I'll kind of talk more about stuff as we go on, but we'll get into it. So just for context, I did the voice acting, and it was placeholder voice acting, as I was going to get someone to properly do it, but I never got round to it. I abandoned the project before I actually got any trained professionals to voice it, so you'll just be hearing my voice as everyone, basically.
I'm sorry, this floor is a restricted zone.
I don't know why his mouth isn't moving. I think I might have messed something up. But this was the very first gold source map that I made, and I actually enjoyed working on it a lot more than, working on Phantom Lab. But maybe because this was done over Christmas time, and, that's kind of a good time of the year, when January and February maybe aren't so great. But yeah, so basically the same with Phantom Lab. I wanted this to be kind of a mysterious, ominous map that the player kind of is a bit confused about. They come down here, it's like, well, what does he mean the floor's restricted? You come here and you see an HECU guard, just standing in front of this boarded up corridor. And the map is set in a apartment block. And when we come in here, we trigger a set sequence.
I can't take much more of this. Kindly lower your voice. Hello.
So at this point, I was hoping the player would be thinking, oh, what's going on here? Something's up. He seems to be stuck. This is what happened. There was a lot of issues and stuff, and I was still learning Jack.
I wonder if I should run that test again. Yes. Fascinating.
This was all detailed, but I had to remove stuff because I hit the entity limit.
Don't you find this all rather fascinating? I just want to get out of this alive.
Because I'm used to working in just normal source where you could just overload it with items and stuff. But yes, I couldn't do that here, and so many crashes occurred and whatnot. So the first kind of obstacle in the first part of this immersive sim was a very simple premise of get through this door.
Move along, buddy. You don't need to know what's going on behind this door.
This was supposed to prompt the player to kind of, want to see what's behind the door. You can kind of see in, but there's nothing interesting to see in there. You just kind of have to take his word for it. And then there are multiple ways in which you can get around. So I'll try and show you most of them. There's a lot. Well, at least 5, I think. So the first one's a key card. We can steal.
Wait, you actually have a security card there? Well, through you go, I guess.
And then you can just walk on through. The second one, I think is in here. I think there was one in each room, where you can open all the drawers and stuff. But this is like a bedroom. But if you do this, and the alarm's supposed to be going off.
Hey, what are you doing? There's no fire.
And then this would be like your way of like sprinting to the door. Get through the door as fast as you can. It would be like he'd go and try and stop the alarm. So you've got, what's the next way? There's something in here. I haven't played this since January or February, so... Oh yes, the way that I think everyone would go. And I think if you do that... I think this guy should have attacked you. Maybe not if he didn't see you, but if he saw you doing it. Or if you attacked him and he was there, then he would come and help. But doing that means that you can get through, you know, that way. And the only other way I can remember, maybe there was only 4 things for this, is you go into this other bedroom, which, you know, is quite strange. Go into the toilet, which I quite like, or the bathroom. And you can... go up here.
Gee, my legs are getting tired standing here.
Just conveniently walks off so you can drop behind him. And then through you go. And, ew. He would have heard that. I wonder what happens if you go back here. I guess you kind of... He'll keep walking and he won't stop you. It's not that good a immersive sim. If you were making a proper immersive sim, you would do it in the actual code, in the actual engine, as opposed to trying to use map entities, which is what I did, and triggers and multi-managers, multi-cases. I can't remember what their names are. But that's how you would do it. So each of these ways of doing it, of you know, playing it, would affect what options you had later on. So if we sneak past like we did, then I think these guys are guarding this door, and they only attack if we were to walk through this door. Otherwise we can just sneak past. So we're on the kind of sneak path. I had like a full logic tree drawn up of all the different options that the player could do. So for instance, if we went the gun route, then they would attack us as soon as we walked through here. So for some reason, they found out what you did.
Vital signs critical. Emergency. User dead.
And if you did the keycard route, they wouldn't attack at all, so you can walk through here.
How's it going?
They actually ask you how it's going and all that. We will just continue on like this for the moment. So we have to climb up here regardless of, you know, what's going on. And similar with Phantom Lab, I wanted to include 2 floors on this level, so that's exactly what I did. You can see this guy walking through the laboratory. And that's kind of like, oh, what's going on there? Why is there a laboratory in an apartment building? And we come back into the apartments. Oh yes, this is funny. Now this room changes depending on what you did with the first security guard. So if you killed him, there would be triggers everywhere. So you can sneak past this guy, but basically, as soon as you stand up, you'd activate the trigger to wake him up. If you, if you sneaked past this, it would be a lot more lenient. You'd be able to, you know, do a whole ton of other stuff. You know, like maybe the triggers were a bit higher or something. I can't remember exactly. But for us, we can just run about because, you know, we didn't kill the first guard, so it's not as if anything's going to happen. And I've just played it through quickly to actually, you know, kill the guard at the start. So if we have, if we killed the first guard, then we can kind of sneak around him. But if we stand up, then he will wake up. So this was quite funny. This was quite a nice kind of thing to do, you know, the sleeping grunt. You know, if you got the gun, if you didn't get the gun, then you'd be, you know, and woke him up, then you'd practically have to just run. And you could literally just run through here, but it's actually quite difficult. And we make it into this lab, but a lot of these things, a lot of these items were borrowed for Phantom Lab, so it's good. This wasn't all a waste. But to be honest, Phantom Lab is just copied from this map. And the main reason for that is because I knew all of the logic. So this elevator is the same elevator, I just copied it in Phantom Lab. Here we have another guard. I think you can always sneak past him. So this is where the, you know, immersive sim part comes in. I keep calling it that. It's not really. I know it's not really an immersive sim. And then he hears the noise and he's running. You can see him running. He runs through this door, not noticing you. And then you can walk into the elevator. But this is like the first glimpse you see at the portal. Notice it's the same portal and the same kind of portal room. But yeah, you can see Einstein over there, and I thought there was another one somewhere. Another scientist, maybe not. Anyway, this is where you go down into the thing. I think this elevator's slightly different than the one I ended up using. But it's the same elevator in terms of logic. When I step out here, this then takes all of the past actions that the player has done and creates an ending. So if I shot the guard at the start, or I think if I killed anyone during the map, I get a negative response from this guy up here. If I sneaked or snuck past, you know, I played it stealth mode basically, this guy is going to act confused. And if I was, you know, if I stole the security card and then, you know, didn't kill anyone else, then I would get a good response and he'd treat me kind. So I think we're on the bad option right now, so we'll see how this plays out.
What's that? This person has attacked members of our team. Guard, the intruder is in the portal chamber now.
Yes, this is not the best thing I've ever made. You know, he said, you know, the intruder is in the portal chamber. This is, you might recognise this from Phantom Lab. It's the same concept. And I can actually go in here. And I can't remember which one is which. But I'll speak about this in a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So on the good track, or the, you know, track where you steal the card and then don't actually murder anyone, this guy just doesn't attack you. He just sits, you know, I know I didn't show him attacking you before, but if I'd not crouched around him, then he would have attacked. And then going down in the elevator, you get a much more friendlier response from the scientist.
Hello there. Sorry for the short notice, but we needed an extra pair of hands. Now, can you step into the control room over there and get an energy reading? It should be sitting nicely above 74%. Once you have confirmed that, make your way back up here and we can start figuring out how to open the portal safely.
So this is like him confusing, you know, he's confused. He thinks I'm part of their operations. I had to think up something, and that's what I thought up. So as you see, it's very different if you play it differently. If you, you know, the guards don't come in. So yeah, there are two buttons here. One of them opens the portal, this portal, meaning that the aliens will start spawning once this thing has extended. This one closes the portal. Now, I'll see if I can get that right. If I push this, then both Marines or HECU soldiers and aliens spawn at the same time, or almost at the same time. If I push that one, only HECU soldiers will spawn, you know, because they'll be angry you closed their portal. I'll see if I can do a quick save and show you.
What are you doing? You have destroyed weeks of research. Guards, we have an intruder.
And then the guards will spawn. Like the aliens will not spawn because there's no more portal. But if I press this button,
Too soon. We have not made sure it is safe to open yet. Oh dear.
I think he's a lot more lenient because I didn't kill anyone. You know, like the guard at the start or any of the other guards. But I think if I were to push that and I had done sneak mode, he would send in the guards. I had a whole, like, ending tree to show you what the outcomes of doing each action was. And of course there's supposed to be sounds and stuff. And the option, I would actually have like a reading here. You remember how he told us to go get the reading? Well, there would be like a number here and you'd look at that and then you could actually, you know, just, hang on. I'll go and get some battery juice. You could actually just walk out. And then the thing would close.
Wait, what is happening? Is the energy reading still above 74%?
As you see, the portal is opening anyway, so it's a Hobson's choice. You basically, you know, you've been got anyway.
I will try and find a way of closing the portal.
Here is the sneak mode ending, so to speak.
Who is this? Excuse me.
Or the
whoever
sneak
you are,
stealth
sit
mode.
there. Since you clearly don't have the security pass, I'll presume you somehow sneaked past the guards. I'm going to find out what's going on. Stay right there and do not touch anything.
So this was the don't touch anything. Player goes in and pushes the, you know, the button.
Right. You will be escorted out of here. Get back into the elevator and meet us at the top.
And then the thing would open anyway.
The portal is opening.
I'll just go give myself a ton of weapons as well. With Impulse 101. But as you can see, the combat's not that good because the space is so small. And it's a mistake I made with Phantom Lab as well. And then I think a big guy, yeah.
Take the elevator back up to the control room. They are trying to get in.
So this was supposed to create like urgency. Like, oh no, they're getting in the door, you need to stop them. Not that we care. This guy's going a bit crazy.
Depleted.
I need you to press the button and destroy the portal.
Alright, there we go. I think I'm not sure that was supposed to happen like that.
Thanks for your help. You saved the whole tower. I have no idea who you are, but you better get out of here. The doors in the portal chamber are open, so you can...
And of course you'd get different dialogue if you'd, you know, come in, you'd got the security card at the start. But this would, you know, this whole coming up here thing doesn't happen if you killed anyone in the map prior to going into the chamber. You know, the guards would be called, and that is it. So here you've actually got to go all the way back. Back down again. And then you can walk out here, and this leads all the way around here. I had these things on like a train entity, so they're like trains and they just move over. So yeah, that is it. So there's many endings, but that's ending's a proper real ending. The fake endings are when either the HECU blowtorch their way through the door, or you I think they have to. That's the only other alternative to get out. And then once you get out, this room was detailed at one point. I think we might be playing an inferior version of this map. But yes, so that is the end of the level. That was... Well, I don't think I had a name for it. The very first gold source TWHL Tower 2 map I ever made. I loved making it. Actually making it was so much fun, and getting the whole ending tree worked out and whatnot, and all the different entities. It's just a shame that, well, the idea was so far out there and the thing broke. And there was, you know, a time in January when it broke every single day and it would crash. I'm surprised it didn't crash here, but I think we're playing an earlier version where there wasn't so much stuff. But yeah, it crashed and things wouldn't work out the way they were supposed to. But the combat wasn't very fun, and I think most people would get really confused with the whole RPG thing. I call it that. I know it's not. I know it's nowhere near RPG level or immersive sim level, but that's how I thought about it. So after this, I cancelled the development. I didn't send it in. I swore that no one would ever see this map again, and I started working Phantom Lab, which was a flawed map in its own way. I went over that in another video, but I think it was definitely much better from a on the perspective that it wasn't as complicated, and it certainly wasn't as complicated to make. But anyway, that's everything for my unreleased TWHL Tower 2 level.